is raw milk safe? A 2022 CDC report found that raw milk is 840 times more likely to cause foodborne illness than pasteurized milk. Raw milk has been linked to outbreaks of Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli, which can cause severe illness or death. Listeria especially is dangerous because it thrives in cold environments, even if you're putting it in the refrigerator. Thank you for joining this episode of Heal Thyself. To support the show, please rate, review, and subscribe. It gives us the opportunity to really expand this knowledge to people who need it most, and you can do your part by just sharing the love. Again, thank you for listening. I'm forever grateful, and I love you all. Let's get started. All right, everyone, welcome to the newest episode of Heal Thyself. This one's going to be super exciting. What if I told you that some of the most popular health trends online might actually be harming people? You know, when you're on TikTok or Instagram Reels, or your friend or your family member sends you something that seems to be spoken with high level of confidence, and you kind of want to get on this trend because you hear that it helped cure this person or help heal this person, or you have a very well put together video that is super engaging, and you read the comments of people like, wow, this is amazing. I need to try it. I want to try it. And you want to get on that bus. That might be a problem because a lot of these online trends are actually harming people. They could cause nutrient deficiencies, bacterial infections, increased cancer risk, yes, and even heart attacks. We didn't even know all of this, but we live in a world where social media influencers are reaching more people than actual people who went to school for this stuff. Doctors, scientists, right? People who are actually educators, who are actually known in this. We all of a sudden have a bunch of experts who have a ton of followers and are speaking to impressionable youth. So the wellness industry is booming, but so is health misinformation. It's often promoted actually by people who have no medical background, and even the ones that do, I don't know what happened to them. They went off the rails. But a lot of them have no formal scientific education. There's no regulatory oversight into what's true and what's not. But I want you to consider this. False health claims will spread 6 times faster than factual medical research. The global wellness industry is worth over $4.4 trillion. And many people follow these trends based on the testimonials instead of actual science, right? So like it may have worked for one person and they get on and they have 1 million followers and they go, I tried this, it works, I feel better. And then all their followers goes, okay, I want to feel better. I'm going to do this. And I already idolize this person. But the problem is some people can get seriously ill as a result. So today I'm going to break down the 5 most misleading and dangerous health myths that have gone viral on social media. We're going to cover how these myths started, why they became popular, what proponents of these trends are actually arguing for, what about the real scientific evidence, and why these claims are actually misleading. We're going to talk about documented health risks, real life cases of harm, and actual safer evidence-based alternatives that actually work based on science. So at the end of this, we'll discuss the social impact of health misinformation and why you can be, or your loved ones, or whoever it is, maybe you have that friend who's always sending you every new health trend, can be more discerning overall. And we're going to get better health advice, how to look for it, what to look for. So I'm excited to get into this. Thank you for coming to the show. As always, just sitting back, let the information come in, really receive it so you actually can speak educatedly against things that maybe aren't really truly healthful. And so you can speak at an educated level to speak as a proponent saying, hey, maybe this isn't the healthiest thing. I know that it doesn't sound healthy, but now I know why. So I want to speak first and foremost about the carnivore diet. Is it science versus hype? When we think about the carnivore diet, the question is eating only meat really healthy for your overall health? The carnivore diet has become one of the most extreme dietary movements online. Its proponents argue that eating only animal products, meat, eggs, animal fat, while eliminating plant foods can really help people. It'll help reduce inflammation. You'll lose weight effortlessly. You can cure autoimmune disease. You can optimize your hormone levels. You can eliminate gut issues. And the movement is actually growing rapidly. Hashtag carnivore diet has over 600 million. That's a lot of views. 600 million views on TikTok. And in 2023, there was a survey. They found that 3 million Americans already tried the carnivore diet. And you have influencers like Liver King or Sean Baker or the Carnivore MD or whatever he is now. They built empires promoting the carnivore diet. But is the science behind the carnivore diet as solid as all of these supporters are claiming, right? So what are the proponents of carnivore diets? What is their argument saying? Well, these advocates believe multiple things. Humans are designed to eat only meat. The proponents claim that early humans were primarily meat eaters, and eating plant food was actually an unnatural phenomenon. And some people in the carnivore space will go as far as to even suggest that agriculture and plant consumption is actually leading to modern diseases like obesity and diabetes. That's really far-fetched. One of the main concerning arguments about carnivore is that saturated fat and cholesterol are healthy. Carnivores will argue that the link between saturated fat and heart disease is a myth, and that cholesterol has been wrongly demonized in medicine. And they claim that high LDL cholesterol is not harmful. And they claim that high LDL cholesterol is not harmful and saturated fat is essential for your hormone production. Carnivores also claim that plant foods are toxic. Many are claiming that vegetables, it's actually fundamental to the movement. Vegetables contain natural plant toxins like lectins and oxalates that are harmful to human health. They suggest that avoiding plant food improves your digestion, it reduces inflammation. They also say that fibers are necessary. It's a major argument that is, again, fundamental to carnivore, that fiber is not needed for gut health, and that actually eliminating fiber reduces bloating, gas, and overall digestive issues. And that meat actually provides all of the essential nutrients that you need. They advocate claims that you can get every nutrient you need from meat and organ meats alone without any need for plants. So you hear all of this, you hear it online, you hear it from friends, and it sounds compelling, right? And especially like the gut thing and losing weight and you'll feel better. But I really want to break down these claims because they actually don't hold up any scientific scrutiny. What does the research actually show for the carnivore diet? Well, are humans designed to only eat meat? When you look back at anthropological evidence, it actually shows that early humans were not carnivores. They were omnivores, right? And when you study modern day hunter-gatherer societies, it reveals that we actually consumed a diverse range of plant and animal foods, not just eating meat all the time and sometimes fruits, sometimes vegetables. And a 2020 study in Nature, Ecology, and Evolution found that early humans ate a variety of tubers, nuts, fruits, vegetables, alongside animal proteins, right? But what does the science actually say behind saturated fat? So it's a major misconception to think that we evolved only eating meat. But what about the saturated fat and cholesterol movement? Does the carnivore argument for saturated fat and cholesterol hold up in science? The truth is that it doesn't. The claim that saturated fat doesn't contribute to heart disease is actually false. A 2021 meta-analysis in The Lancet found high saturated fat diets increased cardiovascular disease by 24%. 2019 study in JAMA Cardiology found that elevated LDL cholesterol was directly correlated with a higher risk of heart attack and stroke. Hey everyone, let me tell you about something I've been really excited about lately. You know how frustrating it is to figure out if your supplements are actually working. Well, I discovered SuppCo, and this is a brand new game changer app. And what it does is everything that a coach who manages your supplements may do. They have a trust score system and it rates over 500 brands. It's easy. You just scan the back and it rates your supplement. But it's helped me realize some really important things about my routine. One, that I can simplify some things. Two, that I might be able to add in some fundamental things that would be better for me in my age and in my health. I love that they rate your supplements, but what I really love is that they have this stack analysis tool, and you input your supplements and your health goals, and it shows you exactly where you are hitting the mark and also where you could improve. And that was really helpful for me. Plus, It helped me find ways to save money on monthly supplement costs without any compromising. The best part, SuppCo isn't trying to sell you supplements at all. That's not their job. They're completely independent and will actually tell you if you should stop taking something that isn't right for you or if you should start adding in anything else. So here's exciting news. SuppCo is currently in its beta test, but you, the Heal Thyself listener, you're gonna get 100% free access today at supp.co/DRG. That's supp.co/DRG. We obsess over our food, our water, even what we put on our skin, but we completely overlook something we consume way more, and that's air. Think about it. We breathe in about 11,000 liters of air every single day, and most of us have no idea what's actually in it. That's where Jaspr changes things. They're the first company I found that really gets how home air quality impacts everything from our sleep to our energy level. They take a really holistic approach to home. And we just had a podcast with the founder of Jaspr speaking about how people's sleep scores are jumping from the 61s to 90s overnight just by optimizing the air quality. But think about it, you're not stressing your body with breathing in poor quality air, whether it's dust, dander, mold. And it's not just about filtering the air. It's a clean environment where your body's going to truly thrive. And what I love about Jaspr is they look at the whole picture. The PM 2.5 particles that we can't see, the VOCs from cleaning products or materials in our home, and even the CO2 levels that can affect our focus. They're not here just selling air purifiers. They're actually revolutionizing how we think about the air that we breathe. And if you're ready to transform your home air and your health, go to jaspr.co/DRG and use the code DRG for $300 off. That's a limited time. That is jaspr.co/DRG and the code is DRG. What else does the science say about plant toxins? The idea that plants are toxic and harmful is not supported by any major scientific research. 2022 review in Current Opinion in Food Science found that plant polyphenols, which the carnivore diet eliminates, are essential for reducing oxidative stress and chronic inflammation. Many of these toxins that people who are big proponents of the carnivore diet fear, right? The oxalates, the lectins, they're actually common in many foods, spinach, beans, but they're completely safe, especially in normal amounts. And when you cook them, they're in lower amounts, but people don't really talk about how oxalates and lectins have some anti-cancer properties, right? So we can't just put everything in a vacuum and go, this is a plant defense chemical and it's going to kill you. So the carnivore claims about we not needing fiber, what does the science say? The gut microbiome is essential. We need fiber. And this is one of my biggest problems with the diet is you can't eliminate fiber like that, right? We need to produce beneficial short-chain fatty acids. This is it's the most anti-inflammatory molecule that you can produce in the body. And it's supporting your immune system and regulating our blood sugar and helping our brain and preventing colon cancer. A 2022 study in Nature Reviews Gastroenterology found that fiber-deficient diets increase colon cancer by 30%. It's incredible that carnivore says to not eat fiber. Really bothers me, but it is what it is. All right. Meat can provide all the essential nutrients. The carnivore diet lacks essential vitamins like vitamin C, folate, magnesium, all of which are essential for our overall system, immune system, energy production, brain health. Vitamin C deficiency is linked to scurvy. That's a deficiency that's reemerging in extreme zero carb dieters. You're not getting vitamin C, especially if you're staying away from fruits. I believe that's why the carnivore MD moved away from being a carnivore. So there is social impact. It's dangerous. The carnivore diet has gained traction because it's simple and extreme and it goes viral. However, we know, and I hope that maybe now you do, that it's not sustainable. It leads to problems by many of the followers. They just don't talk about it. But there's whole pages dedicated to people who are getting sick from the carnivore diet. There's nutrient deficiencies, kidney stress, increased cholesterol, too much saturated fat. It's not made for long term. And if people find benefit from it, it's because it's an elimination diet. It's a short-term elimination diet. At some point, you have to reintroduce the foods that give you a balanced diet. So safer alternative, yeah, you can follow a balanced diet, ancestral, but it's an omnivore diet, right? And make sure it's fiber rich, a lot of plant foods, fermented foods for gut health, prebiotic foods for gut health. That is the most important thing, right? And if you can't tolerate a lot of fiber, go really slow. But we can't eliminate all of these food groups thinking that these extremes are going to be the healthiest thing for us. I want to go to the next trend, raw milk. Is this a nutrient-rich elixir or a bomb of bacteria. Raw milk, that is the thing that is claiming to be the superfood. And it's become a hotly debated topic in wellness communities. Advocates of raw milk will say it's more nutritious than pasteurized milk, easier to digest, especially with those who have lactose intolerance. It's packed with living enzymes, so it helps boost your immunity. And the demand for raw milk is actually surging. And this is a lot. I see this a lot in the health and wellness community, especially online. Over 10 million Americans now are consuming raw dairy. Sales have increased by 40% in the last 5 years. Some states have actually even changed the laws to allow raw milk sales due to the high demand. We gotta make some money, right? So the proponents of raw milk are arguing, hey, pasteurization is killing these beneficial nutrients, right? They're saying the pasteurizing, the heating process actually used to kill bacteria in milk, destroys all the essential vitamins, minerals, and enzymes that make milk beneficial. Raw milk is easier to digest. Many of these people are saying, yes, if you have lactose intolerance, drinking raw milk is better for you because it contains naturally occurring lactase enzymes to help break it down. And raw milk is a probiotic superfood. Some people are claiming that raw milk is a natural source of probiotics. It's going to help improve the gut, reduce allergies, enhance your immune function. And when you look at raw milk message boards or comments, proponents are saying, hey, look, raw milk has been consumed for thousands of years. Humans have been drinking it for millennia. And actually modern day pasteurization on it is unnecessary. So just like the carnivore diet, these claims sound appealing. I want the health elixir. I want to feel better. I want the one-stop shop. What can I take every day to make myself the healthiest I can be? And that's not to blame, but how does it hold up in the scientific community? Now, when you look at the science behind raw milk, there's many claims that actually become debunked. Does pasteurization destroy nutrients? Pasteurization does not significantly alter the nutritional content of milk. A 2019 review in Frontiers in Nutrition found that pasteurized milk retains over 90% of its vitamins and minerals, 90%. And enzymes in raw milk are broken down by the stomach acid anyway, meaning that they don't even provide any special benefit for the enzyme argument. Is raw milk easier to digest? Lactose intolerance occurs because the body lacks that lactase enzyme to break down lactose. But that's not because of pasteurization. A 2018 study in American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found no difference in lactose digestion between raw milk and pasteurized milk. And if someone ends up tolerating raw milk better than pasteurized milk, it's unfortunately due to placebo, right? And that's what it boils down to. And the mind plays a huge role. If I come to your house and I have you've never seen milk in your life, and I'm the first person to ever milk a cow, and I go, this white elixir will cure all of your diseases. It cures cancer. And you really believe it to the deepest cell in your body, to the deepest fiber, and you drink it every day, who knows what that would do? But I promise you, the placebo, the mindset plays a major, major role. Does raw milk contain beneficial probiotics? We want to know. Raw milk can contain bacteria. It doesn't contain the same strains of probiotics found in something like a fermented dairy or yogurt or kefir. A 2020 study in Applied Microbiology and Biotechnology found that most beneficial probiotics in dairy, they come from fermentation, not the raw form like raw milk. And probably the biggest one of all, is raw milk safe? A 2022 CDC report found that raw milk is 840 times more likely to cause foodborne illness than pasteurized milk. Raw milk has been linked to outbreaks of Listeria, Salmonella, and E. coli, which can cause severe illness or death. Listeria especially is dangerous because it thrives in cold environments, even if you're putting it in the refrigerator. All right, the social impact. Why is this trend dangerous? The push for raw milk is not just about health. It's fueled by basically distrust of modern food processing. And I don't blame you, because there's a lot of reason to be mistrustful. But unfortunately, many people are mistakenly believing that raw milk is an actual cure. And it can be a problem because you're continuously putting yourself at risk to be hospitalized. Safer alternative, if you consume dairy, go with organic, grass-fed, pasteurized milk. For probiotics, don't rely on raw milk. Opt for something like fermented dairy, kefir, yogurt, fermented plant-based alternatives. And if you're lactose intolerant, think about A2 milk. That actually will be helpful with the lactase enzyme or even supplementing. So that's my take on raw milk. I want to go to number 3. I've been so excited to talk about this one. Because boy, oh boy, is this the scam of the health and wellness century. This is the scam in health and wellness, and it is alkaline water. This is $1 billion scam, actually. Can alkaline water really balance your pH and actually prevent disease? Alkaline water is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It is marketed as a superior way to hydrate and prevent disease. Supporters say it neutralizes acidity in the body. It prevents diseases like cancer. It hydrates better than regular water. And the alkaline water industry is now worth over $4.2 billion. But is there any legitimate science behind it? The alkaline water advocates believe that acidity causes disease. And this claim, and the claim that an acidic body leads to inflammation, cancer, and other chronic diseases is what they hold their hat on. Proponents of alkaline water say things like alkaline water prevents cancer. And they'll argue that cancer thrives in an acidic environment. So drinking alkaline water prevents tumor growth. They also say alkaline water hydrates better than anything. Many claim that alkaline water actually absorbs more effectively in the body and leads to better hydration than regular water. They also say your body needs help balancing pH. Right? The saying that modern diets are making the body too acidic and drinking alkaline water corrects the imbalance. But what's the science actually showing behind alkaline water? Does acidity cause disease? The human body is tightly regulated in pH through the lungs and the kidney. A 2022 study in the Journal of Physiology found that the diet has little effect on blood pH because the body naturally maintains its own balance. What about in cancer? Cancer cells thrive in both acidic and alkaline environments. 2021 meta-analysis in cancer research and therapy found no evidence that alkaline water prevents cancer. And the truth is, no food or water is really going to make your body more alkaline. The body has a small window and it's in control, not you. What about hydration? 2019 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that no significant difference happens if you hydrate between alkaline or just regular filtered water. And it's misleading. People are spending a lot of money on alkaline water machines or just buying alkaline water every time they go out, but the science doesn't really support its health claims. It shifts away from real health changes that we can make, like improving our diet and exercise. So, safe alternative. Drink clean filtered water. I talk a lot about the filters to get. I have a reverse osmosis one and I rehydrate it. I put salt, I put minerals, and there's no need for, you don't have to say make a difference. And there's no need for overpriced alkalizing gadgets, basically. You want to focus on nutrient-rich whole food diet that supports your overall health. That's what you want to do. All right, so let's get to the last two. I really want to go into some more misconceptions. I really love talking about this stuff because, you know, I'm on social media so much and I can see how much misinformation there is. I want to talk about this one. There's a sunscreen myth going around skin cancer, basically. And a lot of people are saying that sunscreen will actually increase your cancer risk. And there's a growing trend on social media that is actually anti-sunscreen. And just bear with me for now, because I talk about the sun a lot, where these influencers are claiming that sunscreen is toxic and filled with harmful chemicals, increases your risk of skin cancer. It's unnecessary if you train the skin to tolerate the sun. And there's hashtag no sunscreen and hashtag sunscreen is toxic, millions of views all over TikTok. And surveys are actually showing that 30% of young adults now actually avoid sunscreen entirely. This misinformation is dangerous. And here's why. And they're saying that these chemicals in sunscreen will disrupt your hormones and your fertility, and they're going to cause cancer, right? And I'm going to talk into that because I know where you're thinking right now. I'm going to talk into that in a moment. What else? Sunscreen prevents vitamin D absorption and it's leading to deficiency. The argument is saying that blocking UV rays actually reduces vitamin D synthesis and leads to widespread deficiency. And you can actually train your skin. Influencers saying the melanin in your body will be protective against the sun and you can actually train it. Another claim is skin cancer is caused by poor diet and not sun exposure. And there's a growing subset of biohackers out there that are saying skin cancer isn't caused by UV radiation, but it's caused by inflammation and processed foods. Again, sounds compelling, but how does the science show up? And I'm going into some of the nuance because I have my opinions on this too. So it's not going to be strictly on the other side. Does sunscreen contain toxic chemicals? Some chemicals in sunscreen ingredients are absorbed into the bloodstream, but research shows actually these levels are way below threshold for toxicity. There's a 2021 research review in Environmental Health Perspectives that found no evidence that normal sunscreen use disrupts hormones or affects fertility. Now, I will say this. This requires nuance. How much are you going to be in the sun? How much are you rubbing these lotions on the body that are the banana boats of the world, right? Or I don't even know any other brands that are really conventional. But if you have the opportunity, use some of those mineral-based sunscreens. Use the ones that are more protective, like zinc oxide. Use the ones that are less toxic and as protective, like zinc oxide. I'm going to talk about being in the sun and how much in a moment, but I would actually prefer, there's some nuance. Yes, some gets in the system. It's well below threshold. And I would love more research saying if someone wears that lotion and it's absorbed in the skin below threshold every single day over a year, if they're in a really hot climate or every day over the summer, how does it begin to affect the body, right? Does it build up or does it have some sort of oxidative effect? That's what we want to know more of. But how do we protect ourselves? Get some better quality zinc oxide sunscreen. Okay. Does sunscreen cause vitamin D deficiency? Sunscreen reduces vitamin D production, but not necessarily significantly. 2019 meta-analysis in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that sunscreen users still produce adequate vitamin D levels. Now, most vitamin D levels are coming from a lack of sun exposure due to lifestyle choices and not necessarily sunscreen use. Again, this requires nuance. This is the way that I take sun. I will make sure that I eat an antioxidant-rich meal before, or just to have colors of the rainbow in a smoothie or something. Make sure that I'm flooding my body with antioxidants. I'll go outside without sunscreen, and I will wait until my body is saying get out of the sun, until I feel myself heating up. This is where we need some interoception to know what our body is communicating to us. So if it's a beach day, you better believe I'm bringing sunscreen. If I'm going on a walk in the morning on a hot day, I don't necessarily put on sunscreen. I think that's overkill. When every time someone goes out in the sun, they put on sunscreen. And so the answer is, if you're really planning to be outside, notice when your body's saying, hey, get out of the sun, find some shade, put on some lotion, of course, reapply if you're going in the water, and make sure you're protecting your skin if you're going to be out there for a prolonged amount of time. Now, for most people, if it's hot sun, by an hour, definitely by 2 hours, your skin is saying, hey, get out of the sun. If we override those messages, that's when it really becomes problematic. So is skin cancer caused by poor diet rather than sun exposure? Well, yeah, diet is going to influence inflammation and skin health, and skin cancer can be, and the inflammatory oxidative environment of your body can promote skin cancer. And it's primarily caused by exposure, prolonged exposure, heavy exposure to UV radiation. 2022 meta-analysis in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology found that regular sunscreen use will actually reduce your risk of melanoma. Again, make sure you have quality sunscreen that is protective, you're reapplying, and you're listening to your body. UV radiation is actually classified as a grade 1 carcinogen, like tobacco, asbestos, right? So the sun is strong. Listen to your body. Your body's going to say, I've had enough sun. I'm good. As you start pushing against that, it becomes really problematic in the body. Okay. It's dangerous because melanoma risk and rates are elevating. It's dangerous because the melanoma rates in young people are elevating. People are mistakenly believing that they can train their skin to reduce sun damage. That's not real. Get yourself a quality, go to an environmental working group. There's so many sunscreens now that are mineral based. I've done sunscreen review. Go listen to that to find a quality one. Wear nice protective clothing, especially if you're going to be there for a prolonged amount of time, especially if you burn easily. Sunglasses, hats, get an umbrella. Vitamin D is essential. You can get the sun without sunscreen by 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you're good. And in the winter, you can supplement it. And number one, oh my God, this one drives me crazy, is dry scooping pre-workouts. This is so stupid. Sorry, trying to be objective here. Can it be an actual heart attack in a scoop, right? Dry scooping can send you to the ER. This is a serious matter. There's a trend where people are scooping pre-workout, and it's gone viral because it's intensifying these workouts. And over 400 million TikTok users have been found to look under the hashtag of dry scooping. 2022 study found that over 30% of young gym goers have tried dry scooping. It's dangerous, and it's led to multiple hospitalizations and even heart attacks. Proponents of this are saying that it hits faster. You get a better workout. You get a better boost. And the belief is that dry scooping allows the pre-workout ingredients to be absorbed faster. You get a better intense boost. you're in the gym, you get all of your gains a lot easier because you have so much energy. And drinking pre-workout actually dilutes the overall effects. Some are claiming that when you mix the pre-workout, the water's weakening the effect, you're not getting the maximum potency. And some people say, hey, look, it's sold in the store, so pre-workout must be safe. And remember, the assumption that just because it's on a shelf must mean it's safe isn't necessarily true. So what does the science say behind dry scooping? Caffeine overload will affect your heart. Most pre-workout powders contain between 200 and 400 milligrams of caffeine per scoop. That's an equivalent of 4 to 5 cups of coffee per scoop. It's crazy. 2021 study in JAMA Cardiology found that excessive caffeine intake, anything above 400 milligrams, which is a lot, will significantly increase the risk of AFib, atrial fibrillation, and heart arrhythmias. So dry scooping, allowing this caffeine to enter the bloodstream really fast, increase the risk of things like palpitations, anxiety, high blood pressure, right? Young kids think they're invincible and they do this and it hits them. Can dry scooping cause a heart attack? Yeah, actually a 2021 case report in the Journal of American Emergency Medicine documented a 20-year-old woman who suffered a damn heart attack. She had a heart attack after dry scooping. Pre-workouts often contain other ingredients like beta-alanine or taurine and synthetic stimulants, which can actually strain the cardiovascular system. Now imagine you go to the gym and then you start running sprints or doing a HIIT workout. That's tough. And then no one's talking about actually the aspiration risk, lung damage. When you're inhaling a dry scooper, it can cause airway obstruction. It can cause lung irritation. It can lead to things like aspiration pneumonia. Case reports have been reported of people choking, heart attacks requiring medical interventions. So the social impact is dangerous. Young gym goers are extremely impressionable and a lot of influencers are just dumb. So please don't do this. It's prevalent in the fitness industry. It's unsustainable. It's dangerous. Mix your pre-workout, limit your caffeine to 200 milligrams, use natural energy boosters like cordyceps, electrolyte-rich drinks, beet juice powder, nitric oxide, lozenges, anything else. There's a danger when we think that everything is a one-size-fits-all. Health is not one-size-fits-all, right? It's about you. It's about your unique imprint as a human being, right? We can't just go by testimonials. We have to go by the science. And we have to be vigilant in understanding that our own particular unique imprint means that we have a different biochemical genetic makeup than the person who this may have worked for. And these things that I mentioned on the show are dangerous and they aren't sustainable. Take it how you will. I really hope you enjoyed the show. Rate, review, subscribe. Thank you for joining. Really hope this enlightened you. Send your favorite carnivore, raw milker, or alkaline person, dry scooper, whatever it is, send them to the show and they might change their mind. Thank you for listening.